Hello again, fellow podcaster, and welcome back to Pod Theory. I'm your host, Jason Cercone, and today I've got a question for you. How will podcasting be different a year from now? The podcasting world has seen some pretty significant changes over the past few years, and there's really no evidence of anything slowing down anytime soon. 2020, although a little bit crazy and a little bit weird for all of us, had a pretty significant impact on the podcast space. COVID-19 forced podcasters to get very creative with how they produce their content, thus making long-distance podcast recording more of a staple in this industry. The pandemic also saw a serious spike in podcast listenership as many people had more time to get caught up on podcasts and discover new ones. It also led to the creation of many new podcasts, putting us over 1 million active shows. That number continues to climb daily, and it's only a matter of time before 2 million active shows is achieved. Depending on when you're listening to this, we could still be creeping up on that number, or we may have blown it away. So as this episode of Pod Theory goes live, it's February 10th, 2021. And the question I have for you today, what will podcasting look like on February 10th, 2022? Let's talk about some things that will unfold over the course of the next 365 days. For starters, and this one's pretty obvious, there will be millions of more podcast episodes available, and I predict we'll be over 3 million podcasts and growing. Now believe me, I know I'm not venturing too far out on the limb with that prediction, but it's definitely going to be something to watch, for many reasons. The rapid growth we saw throughout 2020 and into early 2021 has been staggering. The thing is, with that growth, you have to expect for some of those podcasts to go off track and pod fade. It's just the nature of the beast. However, the rise in listenership has proven the validity of this platform, so I see more and more brands and individuals bringing new podcast content into reality. That said, quality is going to be key. With more options becoming readily available for listeners, that learning curve flattens. It's getting harder and harder for new podcasters to lead with shoddy content and subpar production quality because listeners have so many other options available to them. From this day forward, podcasters need to lead strong and be sure their content truly serves their brand and gives listeners what they seek. How about the battle for podcast supremacy at the top? Right now, it's Apple Podcasts, but there are others looking to claim the throne. Spotify, Amazon. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I edited this episode on a Mac with my iPhone to the left of the screen and my iPad to the right. But I don't see Apple just letting someone take over without bringing something to the podcast space that could keep them in that top spot. What that is, I couldn't even begin to guess. But I predict we'll see something big from the crew at Apple before this date in 2022. As we speak, COVID-19 vaccinations are underway. And hopefully, we can begin to visualize a life with COVID as less of a factor without that dream blowing up in our faces yet again. So once we can get back to it, tell me, will you welcome the ability to once again podcast with your co-host and your guests in person? I know I will. I've actually already got one in-person interview under my belt for the year, and you can hear it by jumping back to episode 90 of Pod Theory as I was joined by Sarah Macon, a mental health professional and the founder of Macon Wellness. We talked about burnout and how you can avoid it in your life and with your podcast. And I have to admit, it definitely felt a little different being face-to-face with someone again. It was my first in-person interview in over a year, but I'm happy to report it didn't take too long to get comfortable once again. So when 2022 hits, I think we'll see a return of in-person recording as everyone begins to feel more safe getting together again. But that's not to say that long-distance recording will go away. If anything, that element is only going to get stronger due to the convenience it offers and due to more podcasters putting emphasis on the quality of their long-distance productions. Zoom is a great conference tool and absolutely can work as a means of capturing podcast content, but that's not what it was designed for. Now you've got platforms like Squadcast and Riverside improving on that approach, but gearing it more towards what podcasters need: crisp audio and clear video. Long distance recording instantly boosts your guest list options as you can connect with someone on the other side of the world and feature them on your show. And the adjustments we've all had to make due to the pandemic have proven that podcasts can solely be produced in this fashion. That means the software we use to make it all come together will keep getting better and better and will be at high levels of performance by time we hit the year 2022. A year from now, I think Clubhouse is going to be instrumental in the podcasting space. In its beta stage right now, it's already proven to be a great tool for podcasters for connecting with fellow podcasters, as well as learning from others successful in this space. Many have also leaned into Clubhouse as a means of communicating with their audience before their show, and that will only get more and more frequent as more people join the service. If you've been one of the people saying that Clubhouse won't last and it's just a fad, you need to reevaluate your thoughts. Mark my words, Clubhouse will continue to make a significant impact and will be a tremendous resource for podcasters in all niches when we hit February 10th, 2022. There is so much to look forward to, but this is where I'm going to stop for today. Keep your eyes and your mind open as you navigate through 2021. There's going to be a lot to see and a lot to learn. And that brings today's commentary on Pod Theory to a conclusion. We'll see how well this episode ages. In what ways do you think podcasting will be different by February 10th, 2022? Find me on Twitter at Jason Cercone and let me know your thoughts. Good talk. I'll see you back here tomorrow. This has been Jason Cercone on Pod Theory.